I was hoping to receive some words from someone, and it seems that someone has arrived. If the person who has come could please enter through the channel Elena and share their words with us, I would appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. I would be grateful if you could share your words with us now. May I kindly ask for your name?
I am Mozart.
Thank you very much for gracing us with your presence. Of course, it was your music that first introduced me to classical music. I am truly grateful for your beautiful and wonderful compositions. If you could kindly share some words with us, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
I am skilled at expressing myself through musical notes, but I find it very difficult to convey my thoughts through words. So, I'm not sure what kind of conversation this will turn into, but since I've come here now, there must be something I want to share, so I'd like to speak freely. You see, the world that always existed within me was a world of freedom. A world where sunlight shines, birds chirp, leaves rustle, and a gentle breeze blows, a bright and pleasant world. I always dreamed of such a world, and it was present in my heart every day. I constantly wanted to express this world somehow, and that's how it became musical notes, sheet music, and eventually made its way into the world. At that moment, I realized that I had a talent for expressing the landscapes of my mind through sheet music, and that's how I began composing. The world of sound is incredibly captivating. The sound produced by the piano, in particular, was ideal for me. When my fingers press the piano keys, the sound that emerges acts as a substitute for my words and expresses that world, making the piano an extremely convenient tool. I loved the piano, and as inspiration continued to flow, I transcribed it into sheet music and composed pieces. Within them, you can feel the wind blowing, the light shining, and the birds singing. The sky is blue, the grass is green, and you can see a girl lightly dancing and running through a refreshing grassy field. Such a world comes into view. If I were to express this through words or paintings, I wouldn't have the ability, but when it comes to expressing it through sheet music, I felt that I could do so freely and endlessly. By playing the piano, I was able to reflect the world within my heart through the sound, and I believed there was no greater freedom or more wonderful worldview than this. Whenever I played the piano, I would always bring down the worldview that expanded within my heart onto the piano keys, so naturally, the pieces I played became a manifestation of the world within my heart. My fingers moved on the piano keys with such genius and miraculous grace that they were perfectly suited to express this world. They were completely free. I felt that my fingers moving on the keys would still be able to express everything. When I composed music for the first time, I believed that what descended upon me was the voice of God, the words or thoughts of the divine were showering down on me. I walked freely through this world, running all around, fully absorbing the light in space. And curiously, in the world within my heart, the scenes could change freely and suddenly. I think this also translated into the dynamism of the pieces I played on the piano. No matter how the worldview appeared in my heart, I was able to express it. The worlds that kept appearing one after another were reflected on the piano keys through my fingers, and as I expressed them, they materialized into pieces unlike anything anyone had ever heard before. I felt there was no greater work than this. When I presented these pieces to the royal court, within my world, a vast and majestic kingdom was unfolding before me. So, all I had to do was let my fingers run across the keys, and the composition would naturally come together. I was more delighted than anyone else to have the ability to do such wonderful work. And when this music caught the king's attention, I had the honor of presenting it to him, which was an extraordinary experience. The thought that these compositions would endure through the ages as masterpieces by Mozart gives me chills even now. I was deeply moved. I believe that a piece of music played here and now could convey the same emotion 10 years, 50 years, 100 years, or even 1,000 years from now. For example, with a painting, the colors might fade and the expressive power might diminish over time, but music written in notes on a score can convey the same thing even after hundreds or thousands of years. The instruments used might change the atmosphere, but I believe it is possible to recreate the same worldview. Music, unlike anything else, can be passed down to future generations and across different languages without losing its essence. I think that's what makes music so wonderful. Even if someone doesn't understand the words or isn't familiar with complex concepts, I believe that when they listen to the music, my message will be conveyed to them within their own worldview. Some may see the same worldview I saw, while others may feel something different. That's why I think music is truly remarkable. It allows us to pass on the emotions felt in this moment to future generations. It allows my worldview, the one I experienced, to be shared with people in other times and places, and even with those who don't speak the same language. That's why I can never stop, because there's nothing as wonderful as music. I decided to dedicate my entire life to the world of music. My talent allows me to leave something for future generations, and that fills me with joy. I would be delighted if even one more person could hear and receive my message. Thank you.
At first, I wasn't very fond of classical music, but after listening to your music, Mozart, I found it beautiful and wonderful, and that's how I gradually got into it. I even went as far as changing speakers and amplifiers, getting a bit into audio equipment, trying my best to listen to it in the best possible sound quality. Nowadays, for example, the pitch of the C note is slightly higher than it used to be. How do you feel about this? I would appreciate your thoughts.
I believe that this was influenced by some forces from another realm. In the pursuit of creating pleasant sounds for humans, or perhaps due to the work of those who sought to control this, there may have been efforts to alter the overall tone and timbre. As a result, there were instances where the overall sound palette was changed.
I see, so that's why there's a slight feeling of unease at times. Yes, originally the sound was expressed at a slightly lower pitch. Many people, whether in classical music, other types of music, or even modern literature, experience various landscapes that emerge in their minds when they listen. However, I believe some people may struggle to feel that. Could you please offer some advice on how to better sense those landscapes and feelings within the heart? I would appreciate it. Thank you.
I believe this is very difficult because it involves the subjective experience of feeling a world. It's hard to give a clear answer about how to achieve this because sensitivity varies from person to person, and it's not just about this lifetime, it likely involves past lives as well. For example, a person's sensitivity might be influenced by experiences from previous lives. So, even a small child might have a rich and broad sense of the world, while an adult might struggle to understand it. Therefore, it's difficult to provide a one-size-fits-all solution. However, One thing I think could be helpful is to experience feelings of love. Whether or not you have someone you love or care about deeply is a significant issue. Talking about sensitivity with someone who hasn't felt such emotional highs might not be very effective. On the other hand, when you share your worldview with someone who has rich emotional experiences, it might resonate more deeply, with various colors and shades of experience conveyed. Thus, experiencing all types of human emotions, whether sadness, joy, or anger, is important. If you layer wonderful music over a blank, emotionless state, it might result in something like computer-generated music. In that sense, experiencing various human relationships, such as love, friendships, and family connections, and the emotional worlds that expand within you, can be very beneficial. The experiences accumulated throughout life can be valuable in this regard.
Thank you very much. So, experiencing various emotions and then listening to music allows us to understand even more. Is that what art is generally about? I want to become someone who can truly receive and appreciate it. Thank you very much for today. It was Mozart. I think I was able to hear some very precious words. Elena, what do you think after hearing Mozart's words just now?
After hearing what was said about emotions at the end, I realized it's true. We often tell ourselves not to be swayed by emotions and to maintain reason, but emotions can actually be valuable in expanding our worldview. Experiencing emotions like anger or joy is important because without knowing them, we cannot express or understand them. I truly agree with that perspective.
Experiencing artistic and literary works does indeed require such experiences. I've realized that nothing is wasted. I will conclude here for today. Thank you very much.
How did you feel after watching the video? After listening to this spiritual message, I now understand how Mozart composed his music and why it became such a masterpiece. It is an honor for us living in the modern era to be able to enjoy these wonderful compositions. As I grew older, I found that I could enjoy music and other forms of art more deeply. I realized that this is because of the various experiences I've had. Experiencing different things is important for enriching life, and it also allows for new perspectives, such as appreciating music more deeply. I encourage everyone to embrace many experiences and fully enjoy life. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. Please stay tuned for the next video.